Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna try to show everyone how I personally use Mercari Japan. I have gotten some comments before in my previous videos like asking for tips, and I don't know if I have a lot of tips, but I'm just gonna show you how everything works. I do have an affiliate link with a proxy that I use, and I'm just going to show you like how to look for things basically. Most of like looking just involves like having patience in a way, but we can try it anyway. So I'm gonna start basically from the start, imagining that you don't know anything. So where we're gonna start first is I'm gonna go to Google. I do have some like tabs saved up here, but let's imagine you don't. Like this is Mercari, and this is specifically just Jimin's name, like already in the search bar, and then this is the proxy that I use, but let's imagine that you don't. So what we're gonna do is put in Mercari, and specifically Japan, because if you don't put in Japan, then just American one shows up. Yeah. What showed up? I think I searched something there. It might have been an actor. Anyway, whatever. And the first one that you see is this is like a proxy, another proxy that people use, but this is the website that we want to access. So we click on it, and some of it, and like basically all of it, is in Japanese, and I usually use Google Chrome because I can easily translate with Google Chrome. For example, usually there's like an icon up there that shows up for translate, and if it doesn't, you can just click like choose something, right click and do translate selection, and then just do translate full page. Anyway, so that is how you translate everything, because most of it, if you like, for example, switch to default language, is in Japanese, which is of no use to us. Let's imagine that you are searching for Jimin, but you don't know how to search for him. So usually people would just put in like BTS Jimin, which is great. Some things still show up, a lot of things actually, but but the thing with Japanese sellers is that for most idols, they put in their name in Japanese. Not for all of them. I think is it RM? They just put in RM. Sometimes they do Jimin in English, but not like English, but like, romanized. And then there's this is for example Jimin in Japanese, but not all of them do that. So I recommend searching for things in Japanese strictly. Usually for like groups that are less popular, you will have to put in the name, usually in English, and then their Japanese name. I can show you actually. Let's imagine that you're looking for Le Seraphim. You see, actually, like immediately there's some Japanese stuff that comes up. So we search for Le Seraphim. Great. And let's imagine that we want Cheon. Cheon is actually my bias from Le Seraphim, so let's just take that. And then it's like, well, you don't see any Cheon except here, but it's not in the title. So if we try to translate the title, it comes up Big Pop Trading Card Cheon. So just deducting, this is trading card and this is Cheon. So then we just go and search for Cheon. And because Cheon is a less popular name for idols, usually only one that comes up is IZ*ONE or Le Seraphim, same person, but But let's imagine that we search for someone else. Let's imagine we search for Ives Yujin. So let's do Ive. Just put in the group name. And basically what I do is just I scroll until I find the person that I'm looking for. For example, here is Yujin. And once again, nothing in English. So we go to the title, we translate it. And last one is Yujin. And now if you put in just Yujin, there might be issues because Yujin, there's a lot of Yujins. For example, Zero Base One just debuted, so there's the Yujin from there. Kepler has the Yujin, so she's there. And it's just a mix of different people. And if you're looking for just one, then that can get pretty annoying. And as you can see, they put in like ZB1, Ive, Zero Based One, Kepler. Basically, the names in English are there. So you can just specify, and for example, I'm looking for Kepler region, so I just put in Kepler region, and then it's just Kepler region. BTS don't really have that problem. The only issue is when you search Taeyong in Japanese, because Taeyong and Taehyun, like Taehyun from TXT, is spelled exactly the same way in Japanese. So then sometimes Taehyun from TXT comes up, but because BTS are a very popular group, that doesn't happen much. So let's go back to, for example, you're searching for BTS. Once again, I'm trying to search for Jimin. So I try and find Jimin anywhere. Sometimes when you click on like a random posting, sometimes in the description they have everyone's names. Here it's just Suga, for example. But let's keep clicking. For example, click on Tae. It might take some trial and error. Nothing here. Maybe this one would have it. Nope. We'll just have Jin, Jimin, and Tete. Well, that is also a thing. For BTS, generally, they use their real names, and for a lot of other idols, they use their stage names. For example, Karina from aespa, they don't use Jimin for her. But then for Suga, they use Suga, August D, Yoongi. Just try whatever you can. What I recommend is always searching in Japanese, and then putting in different variations of their name if that like member has that. I want to go through I want to find like a good example for you. It might involve some searching. There you go, right there. So this is like all of the keywords, and if you search, for example, Jimin right there, if you search for Jimin, it will still come up even if it's still in description, but sometimes it isn't, as you can see. So I tend to just ignore that. But anyway, what is that? Let's just translate it just to see. And then it says BTS, BTS, RM, Suga, all of the English ones, the romanized ones. Then there's Namjoon, Yoongi, Seokjin, Hoseok, Taeyang, Jimin, Jungkook. And then it goes into the nicknames. So it's Nam, Suga, Jin, Hobi, Tete, and Kook. So for example, all of these are just their names. Namjoon, Yoongi, Seokjin, Hoseok, Taeyang, Jimin, Jungkook. So that's how you can find someone's name in Japanese. You just basically translate. I generally go by the title of the person that's in the picture, but you can stumble upon listings like this. And for BTS, specifically for some members, you can search for example, you can search Suga, not Yoongi. You can search Jin, not Seokjin, but I don't recommend it because if you search just Jin without BTS, then a lot of other Jins come up, like Yu Jin, Yeon Jin, just Jin Young, whatever. It still comes up because it's the same thing. So I don't recommend that. For Seokjin, you can do either Seokjin or BTS Jin. Then for Suga, you can do Suga, Yoongi. Obviously, is less common. Then for Namjoon, they do sometimes do RM or do Namjoon. Nam, I don't see that much. I don't recommend to use it. For Tae, actually, I skipped Hobi. So you can do J-Hope or you can do Hobi, and sometimes they do Hoseok. So there's 3 different ways to spell it. From what I see, it's mostly either J-Hope or Hoseok, so you can try both. Then for Taeyang, I've noticed that a lot of sellers don't use Taeyang, they use Tete, like here. So I recommend you use that. That's when most searches will come up. And then for Jungkook, you can use Guk, because if you were to see, for example, this is Jungkook, and then this one is Guk. It's the same thing. So basically, if you search for Guk, the ones that are marked just Jungkook will still come up. With Jimin, I think it's basically the only one. It's just Jimin. You don't shorten his name. You don't do Min. Just do Jimin. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look for Jimin. So let's look for Jimin. Now what comes up is a lot of things. It's mostly cards, but there's a signed page, which we don't know if it's real. Then there's BT21 things. I don't know what that is. There's like freebies right there. So I generally, like, how I like to do it is because I only really care about Jimin. I like once a day I will put in just Jimin and just scroll through until I think I've seen everything, and then just repeats come up. I also recommend switching this. We need to translate the page quickly, so let's do what I did before. Here is the sort order. The automatic one is recommended. I don't know why it's recommended, so I just do new. You can do from the lowest, from the highest. I don't recommend from the lowest though, because the lowest price on Mercari Japan is 300 yen, and a lot of people just put in 300 yen and then the real price in the description, which is not going to help us. So I just do new. Generally, like, if it's new, then you're more likely to like hop on the good deal, so to speak. So anyway, now we sorted by the newest order. Then what we have to do next is, for example, you don't want to see the sold ones. For now, there's no sold ones. There you go. For example, you don't want to see the sold ones. So what you would do then is you would just go to the top. Once again, translate. I kind of know it by hand now, but let's just imagine you don't. And if you click on this one, it's just gonna display only the ones that are on sale. Now, there's no sold out listings. I sometimes keep the sold out listings because I kind of want to see what I missed. Kind of like self-torture in a way. Because if something sold out, then it was probably a good deal. But let's do that. Then we translate the full page again. And then there's like more things that you can sort by. There's like all, you can click just sold out, or you can click all the ones that are still on sale. Shipping options, it doesn't really matter. We'll go through one of the listings that I can find just to like go through all the details. Shipping charges, color, like it doesn't really apply here. Commodity condition, you can check like if it's like all in use and so on, but generally I don't click that. I don't really care about that. Price type, doesn't matter. You can do price. So like you can see, the minimum is 300 yen and the maximum is 5,000 yen. So for example, you want to search from 1,000 yen to 5,000 yen. What you would do then is you put in 1,000, then it will reload, and then you do 5,000. So all that will come up is only the items that are sold for that specific, in that specific price range. I don't use price ranges generally because I check it almost every single day. I just like go through everything. If it's like a very highly priced item, I can split the cost in half with my proxy, which I will let you know about a little bit later on. But anyway, so this is how you can sort by price. I will remove that. And then all other ones are kind of like the ones on this side, I mean, are kind of useless in a way, like size, brand. This doesn't apply to us, we're searching for trading cards. So then, for example, if you search for Jimin, like I said, all random things come up, like this face glass set, this like stuffed toy. What if you just want trading cards or mini photo cards? Or just like a set or something. Once again, what I would do is like translate it into English and then keep scrolling until you see trading card, for example, or you see set, or you see album, or you see flyer. Whatever it is you're looking for, because Google Translate is not always entirely correct. Like, it is correct, but it's just not the language that sellers use. It's like, it's just the way things work. So let's just decide that I want to look for a trading card. A trading card is like a photo card. In Japanese, it's a trading card. So then this word is trading card. Yep. So what I would do is I would just, for example, I want Jimin trading cards. So I would do just that and search it. And now all that comes up is all of the items that have Jimin photo card in either the description or the title. So it is like a little bit less, like you don't see everything. There are still some stuff that some descriptions are very like wordy and like they put in everything in there. But otherwise, like, this is pretty good, I'd say. So this is how you like lower what you're searching for a little bit. But let's imagine that you don't want to do that, or you want to add something more, like you want to add, I don't know, a face card. So you can do that as well, but I don't recommend going into details too much because sometimes people like write down a lot in the titles and the descriptions. Like this one wrote down quite a lot. Like if you were to translate this one, BTS Bangtan Boys, which Bangtan Boys, they don't use that much either, like in Japanese, so I recommend just using the romanized BTS. Anyway, so you then have Jimin, Sanok. Sanok is broadcast. If you were looking for broadcasts on Mercari Japan, I don't recommend it though. It's just usually the prices are not that great. And then you have trading card, set of 2. Great. So for example, I want to look for a set, then I would copy that and just put it here, which is what I do quite a lot actually. I like buying bigger sets because usually that's when the price is better. Not always, excuse me, but usually. So anyway, but like I said, I don't recommend you put in too much into here because that like really lowers your search. And some sellers don't put anything in the titles except the name and trading card, or sometimes they just put in like the name, for example BTS Jimin, it would just be that. And sometimes those are the good deals, so I know it can be annoying when you can't like make your search a little bit more specific, but I recommend you don't do too much. For example, this one just says BTS Jimin trading card set. That's it. It doesn't say lights. It doesn't say Airplane Part 2 or whatever. So, for example, this one just says BTS Jimin set. That is it. Sometimes it doesn't even say trading card. So, basically, there is really not that much of a trick with Japan, with Mercari Japan. All it involves is patience. You might not find good deals immediately, but like if you are consistent with what you look for, you look for it like not every day. You don't have to do it every day. I don't do it every day either, not anymore anyway. But you can do it every other day. Maybe you will come up with a good deal. Usually, I try to look for deals that are like I try to start looking when it's like daytime in Japan, so you can like compare your time zone with Japan's time zone and do it from like in the middle of the day until the evening or the night. So because like these people are all Japanese, they're not gonna post throughout the night. So just that's when like the stock, so to say, refreshes. But anyway, so let's see. Let's imagine we want to buy something and we find something good. So I'll go back to just searching for Jimin. And it's like, how do you decide if something is a good deal? Generally, how I do it, because I want to take into account the fees and all the conversion rates and also the shipping. So how I try to imagine it, and this is very, very off, but it just helps me like immediately decide if it's a good deal or not. So let's imagine you want all of his face lucky draws. So you click on that and you're like, is it worth it? And you have this price. So how I usually do it in my head is I remove these 2 numbers and just the last 2 numbers, and then imagine that this is like the price. So and then convert it into like my currency, which is euros. So then it's like, is 280 worth for this set? So let's imagine every single card is 20. So we have basically 160, which 20 for every single card might even be too much. I'm not sure. But anyway, so this is 180 euros and this is 280 euros, which is very off, and that's not true, but just to be safe in case anything happens with customs or the delivery is high, that's how I do it. And like if it's not worth 280, then I don't buy it. So for example, this one is not worth it. So then let's keep scrolling and see if we can find anything else. For example, this is quite a big set. So let's click on that. And let's imagine we take out those two. So this is 220 euro. Great. So let's go through every single card that is in this listing. Sometimes there's multiple pictures. Make sure you don't miss that. And then we count. So let's imagine every single card is 10 euros, which is probably not right. It will probably be worth more. Some cards might be less, but just for simplicity's sake, let's imagine that. So this is 80, 90, 100, 11, 12, 13, 14, 140, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, or something like that. I might have been off a little bit, but let's imagine this is 230, and this one is 220. So then, if you are interested in Jimin's Japanese trading cards, this would be worth it. So let's imagine I'm looking for Jimin's trading cards. So then how do I decide if the seller is actually worth buying from? Because like, if you get a fake, that's it. You're using a proxy service, they can't refund you the money. You won't know it's fake until it arrives to you, unless you get a picture. But even then, you won't get your money back. Basically, like, it's just, that's kind of the risk when you buy through Mercari Japan, so make sure you take that into account. So how do we make sure this is real? First of all, you can look at the cards themselves. For me, I am very familiar with how a lot of, basically most of Jimin's cards look like, so I can tell right away that these are all real. For Japanese cards, the earlier era ones, the ones youth and before, are a little bit more skinny than normal sized regular trading cards. Then everything after that is like regular card size, which is what it looks like. And then this one is like a UMS pre-order, so it's clear and it's like squared a little bit, so that's good as well. And then BTS the best, all of the cards are squared, so all of that looks good. But what we can also do is scroll down and look at the person who's selling it. So this is the seller, this is their number of reviews, and I believe this means that they are identified. Basically, they have confirmed their identity. Like, this is a positive sign. We can also look at the description. Like, this is like the description. It just says available for immediate purchase, which is great. That means our proxy will be able to buy it much quicker because they don't have to comment or message that person. They can just buy it and that's it. Then we can also look at the like details. So for example, this says product condition nearly unused, which is great. Shipping fee is included, which is always included. From like, I haven't seen a single listing that you had to also pay for the shipping fee, which is, we actually care about that, and I will show you why when we get to the proxy thing. And then also you can check region of origin, but that doesn't really matter that much. You can also check number of days before shipping. So this person ships in 2-3 days after purchase. Also the mail they use, but this is like the details. So basically the only time I check this is to check the condition. You have to still make, like, even if it says new, unused, you have to go in with the assumption that it will not be in perfect condition. Cars are very easy to damage, and sometimes they lie in these descriptions, which is once again a risk that you are taking when you're buying with a proxy. But anyway, so let's try and look at the seller and like see what they have sold. So for example, they have sold a lot of street kids. They're selling their Jimin collection, it seems, and there's just stuff like, it looks like a very like consistent background, and all of the pictures that, all of the items that they're selling, like in the description, like this is sold. We can check this one, check the cards here. So for example, if you know how this looks like, you can zoom in a little bit. Let's try that. And you can see like here the little tabs that photo cards usually have, which is great. You can also look at like this picture, like this has a lot of tabs and stuff. So this is looking good. We can also look at like sold listings and see in the comments. These are the comments, and you can see like maybe you can find this person or this person in their reviews, which would be great because that means that if like that's great, it was confirmed that it was real. So oops, oh man, let me go back. I clicked out of it like that. So yeah, we go to the seller, we can go to this one, we can see that like you can see like the texture in these cards. Usually like mini photo cards have like this sort of texture. You can see that basically the seller is good. At least, oh my god, not again. At least in terms of the pictures. But we can also look at their description, which is right here. So we can like translate that, read it. Usually it's just like please refrain from purchasing if you're nervous. It may have threads and scratches. It's basically always the same unless they like have pets. Sometimes they list that. You can read it if you want. I generally don't really care. So I usually just skip that. What I do though is I pay attention to their rating, which is like the stars, and also the number of reviews. So for example, this person has 5 stars, which is great. That means if they have gotten negative like reviews, it was only a few, and they also have a lot of reviews. But then again, the reviews could be for them as a seller and as a buyer. So we also need to take that into account. So let's translate the full page, and they have 100 good reviews and always shows only the last 100 comments. And it also shows the bad reviews. I was disappointed, so to speak. So they have none. Awesome. We can also look at like the reviews themselves. So this one says seller and this one says buyer. So seller is their reviews as a buyer. So this is a person who has sold to this person. So we don't really care, like they might be a great buyer, but are they great as a seller? So we scroll down and we only look at the reviews that say buyer. So for example, buyer, 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 buyer. We can look, they have a lot of buyer reviews. Buy, which is a proxy site, is also like in their reviews, but usually I don't pay attention to those that much because it is a proxy site. So even if it was a scam, buy is not gonna know. It's all automatic. They just get the items and they give the good review. So I usually try to look for an account that looks like it could be a seller themselves. So for example, this person is a seller, but they don't sell K-pop that much. They do sell Tiny Tan, but not photo cards. And we mostly care about photo cards. So I'm gonna go back and just look for people in this person's like buyer list. For example, this one, that looks like a K-pop idol, maybe? I'm not sure, but, or maybe that's like a J-pop idol or something. So like, there's some trading cards, but a little bit too, like, not enough. So let's click on that one. That's Jimin, so nope. It's not foolproof. Sometimes you have to keep scrolling. There you go. That one has JK. And they are also a seller with 690 reviews. You can keep scrolling, and there's like Jungkook things. Like this album, we can click on that, see if that looks real. That looks good to me. Yeah, there's like tabs on the cards and basically just looks real. That one card, this looks like a new press. Yep, the tabs are in the corner, so that's new press. So yeah, like this seller looks good as well. We can also check their reviews and if they have a lot of buyer reviews. Just like quickly, you don't need to do like a lot of research unless you want to like make 100% sure that the person that you were initially looking for is all good. But this looks good to me. So like if they have like one of their buyer reviews is a person who has sold a lot of things themselves, then I would trust them. So great, looks like this person is great. So then we can buy this add. So how would we do that? Well, like I said, I use a proxy. I do have an affiliate link with them. I'm pretty sure like if you register through the link that I put in the description and you buy something, I get 200 yen as a reward, which I would appreciate if you were interested in using it. If you used it, you don't have to in any way. It just helps me to buy some stuff that is a little bit more expensive and out of my range, but once again, you don't have to, but if you want to, it's in my description. So let's go to that proxy. If you click on the link and you register, then you will get to it like that. But if you don't, then you can just search for remambo. This is, like I said, the proxy that I used. The reason why I like it is they like allow you to lower the value of the items, which I will show you how to do in this video as well, because I need to ship out some stuff. So you can do that, and it helps me as someone who's from Europe, because our customs is higher the more value it is, and it of course is a risk to lower the value in case something gets lost, but that hasn't happened to me like literally ever. Like I've shipped out so many things and nothing has ever gotten lost or damaged or anything. So like once again, it is a risk that, but it is a risk that I'm willing to take because it saves me a lot of money. So anyway, let's log in. I will stop right here because like it's pretty self-explanatory, and we will cut to when we have logged in. I'm trying to blur some stuff, so don't pay attention to this. So this is how your page will come up. You can, the way that it works, you have to put in the URL that you are buying. But let's imagine that like you would do that here. But you can also do it through my account, which we will cut to in a little bit. This is your account. Here you can view like add funds, you can view your shopping cart. I have 2 in there because I've already tried to film this video twice. You have your order list, you have all your parcels that you have shipped out, you can put in your payment method, you can add funds. This is all the funds that you have in there, and this is the affiliate program, and this is where you can message them. So like I said, you can do it through the beginning page and put in the URL, but you can also do it here. So let me do it through here. So what I would do is I would copy the link and put it in here. So then what will come up is the step 2, which is like the URL, they put in the picture, the product title is always automatic. In comments, you don't need to put anything because there is no comments to be made. You want to buy the full listing. They have the price put in automatically in there. If you want, you can check it, but yeah, it's 22222, all good. And then it always automatically puts in the inland shipping cost as 800, which like we have established, there is no shipping cost, so we always have to change it because then they will charge you more. Obviously, they return the money to your wallet, but it's just useless in my opinion, or a waste of time. Excuse me. So then you can also enter your purchase. You can read about it more right here if you're interested, but I usually don't care, so I just put in, I just unclick that, and then you click add to shopping cart. And then what loads is your orders that are waiting for payment. So I have the 2 that I was trying to show from before, and the one that I just put in right here. There are 2 ways to pay. Not 2 ways, but 2 like different times you can pay. You can put in just a random amount of money into your wallet, or you can just pay one by one. I tend to just pay one by one because I don't want to have any funds in my wallet. I don't like it. I don't know. So usually I just click on that. And then what comes up is like, for example, right now I have a deposit of 350. I don't know why. And then I have to pay this for this order, which is like what it automatically creates. So then you can pay by PayPal or by credit card. By credit card, there's a little bit less fees, but if you don't want to like let them know your credit card info, you can just go by PayPal. The difference is not that bad. And then I always recommend to pay with yen. Like you can check with your currency, but usually, basically pretty much always, the PayPal exchange rate is always like not the PayPal, your credit card's exchange rate or even the PayPal exchange rate is always better than this website. Like if you were to check, for example, this yen with PayPal, no, maybe not with PayPal, but with your credit card for sure, would be less than it would be if you paid just like this much euro. I can look it up on my phone right now actually. So let's imagine I have to pay 2, 3, 4, 15, and like I'll check my credit card's exchange rate, and my exchange rate right now is 0. So then I put 63 cents. So for me, for example, if I were to use my credit card's exchange rate, it would be 147.51. And if I use their exchange rate, is 156.68. As you can see, that's quite a substantial difference. 9 euros, I would say, is a substantial difference just to waste on exchange rates and fees. So always, always, always use your credit card's exchange rate. Even if your credit card is not the same as mine, it will always, always be better. Then you can click on that and you can pay for it. I will not because I don't want to. I don't want to pay for this item. I don't want to buy it. But anyway, so now I will show you what happens once you buy something and it appears like in your thing. So let me just go to the starting page real quick. So now we are in our account once more, and as you remember, there is a shopping cart, my orders, and my parcels. My parcels are all of the things that I have sent out, or all of the parcels that are waiting for payment. My orders is all of the orders that I currently have in my warehouse, so to speak. So let's click on that. So this is the page that will come up. I have blurred out like the personal info, so sorry that you can't really see it. But the things that come up is all of the items that you bought. This, for example, this listing is a listing that I split in two because the price was very high, and I just messaged them and I was like, hey, can you split this order ID into two of equal value? And they just did it the next day. And then like the title, there's the cost, there's the order ID, there's how much it weighs when it arrived to the warehouse, when I ordered it, and how many storage time is left. So I really need to ship out this item because the storage time is literally about to run out. Not about, but still, I'm going on vacation in a little bit and I just kind of want to get it out there because I'm not going to be able to get it otherwise. So what we're going to do is I'm going to choose these 3 items and then scroll down. You can compile everything that is in your warehouse, or you can compile just the marked orders, which is what I want. So I'm just going to compile the marked orders. Anyway, I'm sorry there's a lot of cuts. I'm really just trying to blur out like the costs and everything. So basically there's the price, the weight, and the order ID. And then there's like the total of the weight and the price. And then you can click on other optional services that you want to click. I don't know why, but I usually just choose the repacking service. It's just safer for me. So I do that. Stretch film I don't really use unless it's like rainy weather so your box doesn't get wet, but I don't think it's necessary. So this is like the items that you have, and this is the repacking service. Then you just click next. Then what we have is we can choose the shipping method. I usually just choose FedEx, but like they say, it can be changed before the shipping fee is paid. So when they compile your package, you can check how every single service, how much it costs, and if one of them is cheaper, you can just get that. But like I said, I usually just choose FedEx, so I choose that, and like if for example DHL is cheaper, I usually just pick between those two. If DHL is cheaper, I will choose that, but usually FedEx is cheaper. Anyway, that is just for my country. Might be different from yours, for yours. So anyway, I will click on next. Okay, so what you get then is all of your delivery info, which I have blurred for obvious reasons. And then you also have please fill in the customs declaration. So these three fields are editable. So these are my three items. This is their value and their quantity, and the total value is, for example, if you put in 500 here, for quantity you put in 2, the total value will be 400. Wait, no, 100? What did I say? 50, 2, and 100. So yeah. So what we're gonna try to do is change the value. So you delete that and you put in 2. Let's imagine you put in 2 everywhere. So I will unblur it now. Hold on a second. So as you can see, I unblurred it and like you can see it better now, but this is like trading card set, trading card. You can just put in that they're all like sets, it doesn't really matter, and then you can choose the value and they can do quantity, and like I said, it shows up the total value. So let's just go crazy and put in 10 for everything. Great, then your total parcel value is what it will be declared to customs is 30 yen, which is nothing, cents. So let's do that and click next. Immediately, you get like the pop-up that the value must be greater or equal to 500. So it doesn't let you like declare it super low, but if your items cost less or more than 500, that's great. Like we can lower it. So let's imagine we do 5.5, 5.10, 5.10, and 500. So now my total is 1515, which is about 15 euros, which for me is great. I will not get very high customs, so yay. And also I have to preface that if your total parcel value before changing is more than 200,000 yen, so 2 and 5 zeros, you are not able to change your customs declaration. So be careful with that. Just make sure that you check everything. If it doesn't let you edit the value, like this doesn't pop up, there's no editing here when it says please fill in the customs declaration and your delivery address. That is why. So I'm gonna check through all of the information and I will be back in a little bit. All of my information was correct, so then what we're gonna do is just go next. Then it takes you to check the delivery information. So this is like all of my 3 orders and their weight. I have blurred it because it has order like IDs. I don't want to show that. And then it also like you can check your delivery address once again. I have blurred that, and then it says postal service FedEx, and then you can click on compile parcel. And then it also says like your optional services, which you can change if you change your mind and you don't want repacking, but I do. So I didn't check the address before I blurred it, so I'll be back in a little bit. Everything is good, so then we're just gonna click compile parcel, and then what comes up is your parcel is successfully registered, the parcel ID is so and so. When your parcel is packed, you will receive an invoice for its shipping costs and other additional services if requested. The packing process may take up to 2-4 work days, which is great. We have done our package. Then that's pretty much all done. After that, you will only have to pay for pay for the parcel. But let's go into our sorry about that. My Discord is deciding that I should get some messages. Anyway, so let's go to our parcels list. So yeah, then what comes up is all of your parcels. So these are like all my old ones. Every time you ship out, if you don't click on the shipped and you don't click that you received it, it will just show up as shipped, which I haven't done. It's not a requirement. Sometimes I forget to do it, honestly. So yeah, what shows up is your parcel ID, how many orders you have, with what you shipped. Like I said, I usually use FedEx. Then the status, for example, the one that we just created is packing in progress, and the compile date. And then when it's shipped out, there's also a tracking number. So let's, for example, click on the one that we just did. So I had to scroll down a little bit because this shows my parcel ID, and if I blur it, then the whole page is blurred. So anyway, then what shows up is like your address, your shipping method, shipping cost, which when you click on the parcels and on the ID is then you will have to pay. And then you can check all the orders that are in the parcel, and also the customs declaration, which you just filled in. And then you pay for it, you receive the tracking number, and then all is great. Usually they also send emails for basically everything, like to when you put something in your cart or whatever, your orders page, that comes up. When you pay for it, that comes up. When it arrives, that comes up. When you did I get an email actually right now? Let me check. I did. So it says order was added to your, I got an email, for example, that the order was added to your shopping cart, and then once they compile it, I will get an email, and it also in the email it will basically say what you have to do. So it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions about the proxy service, or how to search for things on Mercari, or if you just want my help in any other way, feel free to ask. That is it for this video, really, because after that, all you have to do is just pay for the parcel and wait for it to arrive. Quick interruption. I checked my email when I woke up today, and I saw like an update from Remambo that like 6 hours later after I submitted the parcel that it's actually already packed. And so I thought I'd show that too, just in case like you want to see through the entire way. This is like my account, so like shopping cart, the 3 that I put in before, my orders, and as you can see, because the parcel has been packed already, it's in my my parcel sells 1, and it says they're waiting for payment. So let's click on that. And for example, right now, it says that like my parcel ID, I have to pay this much for shipping and the extra things that I wanted, but I can also change. I clicked on like change the shipping method, and for example, it says the weight, it says the dimensions, the length, and also all of the payments. So for example, as you can see, Surface is obviously the cheapest, but it takes this long, so no one ever uses it really. And then DHL is 3,000 yen more than FedEx. Basically, FedEx is the cheapest one out of the options that I have, so that's really why I choose FedEx most of the time. And I also like them decently enough, so let's, I can, like I said, I can change it, but let's just keep it on FedEx. And then once again, did I click on like, yeah, I chose FedEx, but you would click on pay. Like it's pretty explanatory enough if you don't want to change the shipping method, if you don't want to check the prices, but I usually do just in case something is cheaper. It usually isn't, but you never know. So yeah, anyway, I have like, this is my address, which I blocked out for obvious reasons. Then I have like packing date, which is today, then shipping cost, repacking fee, and the total parcel cost, and it says awaiting payment. So then I just click on pay, and then once again it comes to the deposit, like the wallet, when you have to add the funds, which is the same thing as you did when you paid for the item. So I have some yen in my deposit balance. So if I want to pay for anything, this is what is remaining. So I usually use credit card because it's a little bit cheaper, but I think I once tried to use my card to pay, but I didn't have enough money on it, and then it kind of canceled out, and they kind of don't accept credit card payments from you anymore. I could message them to fix it, but it doesn't matter that much. So I'm just gonna use PayPal. I don't feel like messaging them. So let's just click on pay with PayPal. So then like the PayPal page will come up. Make sure it always says yen here, not like euro, not dollar. Like and then that you pay not with your PayPal balance, but with your credit card or debit card, and that it also says the sum in yen, because like I said, card exchange rates, credit card, your bank exchange rates will always, always, always be better than PayPal's. Always. So I check it all, everything is good. I'm gonna check that I have enough money on my bank account. I do, so everything is great. And then we're gonna click on continue to review order. And then that's it. It says you paid for your parcel shipping costs and that they will proceed shipping your parcel within 2 business days. And then you can like go to parcels list, find the tracking number over there, but they will also send you an email once it's been shipped with the tracking number, so you can just track it with the FedEx app from in my case, or like the DHL app, or just their website, either or. Yeah, like today is Saturday, so they will probably ship it out either Monday or Tuesday. So, and then it will arrive probably early next week after that. So maybe Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Friday. So, Jesus, excuse me. So that'll be that, really. And then back to the outro. I hope this video was useful, or if it wasn't, I hope you enjoyed watching it anyway. Maybe you got some tips, or maybe you just like listening to me talk, which I apparently love to do quite a lot, judging on this number right there for how long I've been recording. Hopefully this video is the charm, and the third time is the last time I have to film it. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe or leave a comment. It would be, honestly, I would appreciate it if you found this useful, or just in any way, just like a simple little thing, or if you just like watching it, if you would leave a comment, like, then I would feel like I didn't waste my time trying to film it 3 times. But anyway, once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I know I haven't been active much, it's just I haven't really been enjoying it much, I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't been doing much really. I'm really slowing down on collecting. I'm still collecting, it's just not that much of a joy anymore. But anyway, once again, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, comment, like, follow me on wherever you want, and I will see you in the next one, which is hopefully soon. Bye!